The Vasa Museum displays the only almost fully intact 17th century ship that has ever been salvaged. The Vasa, a 62-gun warship built in 1628 by King Augustus II of Sweden as part of his military expansion and war against Poland. After hearing that Denmark was building a ship with 2 gun decks, the king had ordered that the Vasa also have 2 gun decks, which was a new design for Swedish ships. This made the Vasa much wider at the top than at the bottom. Also, all the wooden sculptures added considerable weight to the top of the ship. The Vasa had barely left the docks in Stockholm on its maiden voyage when a light gust of wind toppled the ship over on its side. Since all the gun ports had been left open to fire a salute as the ship left the harbor, water poured in through the portholes and it sank in the Stockholm harbor. There were concerns about the stability of the ship, but the king was insistent that the ship be launched, and no one wanted to challenge him. The ship sank because she was top-heavy and had insufficient ballast. Buried and forgotten for over 300 years, the ship was found by an amateur naval archaeologist in 1956. Due to the salty, oxygen-poor, cold water of the Baltic Sea, the wooden vessel had survived almost fully intact. The quarter galleries were used by musketeers during close combat. On the roofs are sea creatures, tritons, and mermaids. Underneath is a row of Roman warriors. The splendid sculptures of the Vasa pay tribute to King Augustus II. The Vasa sculptures speak the language of power. The round tops were used by seamen handling sails or in close combat by soldiers firing or throwing incendiary projectiles. The main hatch was used to bring in guns, ammunition, and provisions stored aboard the ship. The hatch could be covered by grating or wooden hatches. The Vasa was salvaged in 1961 and is now the central attraction of the Vasa Maritime Museum, which was specifically built to showcase the Vasa. The gun ports were normally closed during sailing. When they were opened prior to an engagement, brightly painted lion masks would glare out towards the enemy. Most of the Vasa's 64 guns were salvaged in the 17th century, but the carriages were left. After the guns were salvaged, the ship was virtually forgotten. It is estimated that there were about 150 passengers and crew on board the ship when she sank. Between 30 and 50 people perished.